And now, to administer the oath of office, from York, Pennsylvania, the Honorable Judge Penny Blackwell.
You're up. Please raise your right hand and speak after me. I, Thomas Westerman Wolf,
I, Thomas Westerman Wolf,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support, obey, and defend
I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties
and I will discharge the duties
of my office
with fidelity.
Congratulations,
Thank
Governor.
you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 47th Governor of Pennsylvania, Tom Wolf.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Chief Justice Saylor, Governor Corbett, Governor Rendell, Lieutenant Governor Stack, Governors Ridge, Governor Schweiker, everyone who's here, President Scarnati, Speaker Turzai, Leader Dermody, Leader Costa, members of the Judiciary, leaders and members of the General Assembly, family and friends, and above all, my fellow Pennsylvanians. I am so thankful to so many people here today, but I want to start by thanking Governor Tom Corbett for his many years of service to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Please join me. Governor. Next, I want to thank my best friend and wife of nearly 40 years, Frances Wolf, the love of my life and my best friend. Frances. Without her incredible love and support, I would not be standing before you today. I'd also like to thank my two daughters, Sarah and Katie. Yeah. So many things. Let me say a special thanks to Speaker Mike Turzai for reminding us when he was sworn in as Speaker of the House that we cannot take lightly, and this is a quote, we cannot take lightly the great history of democracy of which we are a part, and encouraging, as he said that, all members of the legislature to meet with people across the aisle. That's important. And I also want to thank Chief Justice Tom Saylor for his observation when he was sworn in, that he said, any disagreements we may have are, quote, creatures of our aspirations to value liberty as well as order and fairness and equality as well as liberty. More than anything, I want to thank all Pennsylvanians who worked so hard to get me here. Thank you very much. What you did was took a chance to vote for a different kind of leader. And to those of you out there who didn't vote for me, I hope I'm able to give you a chance over the next 4 years to believe. Because I am an unconventional leader. I am going to be an unconventional governor. For example, I may be the first governor in the history of Pennsylvania who ever operated a forklift. Whoever managed a hardware store. I volunteered and served in the Peace Corps. I ran a business. I'm not a product of our political system. And during my campaign, I pledged to be a different kind of governor, and I will keep that promise. Because what we need today is leaders who are willing to listen to each other and learn from each other and work together to give all Pennsylvanians a shot at a great life. This age and this time demands nothing less. We're told that we're living through a transformational era. And it's true, the world hasn't seen this much change happen this fast since we moved from farms to factories over 100 years ago. And for those of us who are part of that change and who are ready for that change, this new era is creating opportunities our ancestors could never have dreamt of. But if you travel across our state, you realize that many of our fellow citizens haven't yet found their place in this new world. Travel to Bethlehem, or to Mount Wolf, or to York, or Reading, or Wellsboro. From rural counties to inner cities, across the Commonwealth, and the story is the same. We used to know what it took to succeed. We used to know what schooling we needed to get good jobs. We used to know what skills it took to start and run a business and be part of this economy. But now we're not so sure. We need new skills for this new era. We need to compete in a whole new way. And because of that, Pennsylvania, our state, stands at a crossroads. The industries that we used to rely on to create good jobs, they're struggling to survive. Paychecks, they're not keeping up with the cost of living. And ordinary families can no longer afford college or higher education. And too often, when we've looked to our leaders for answers, we've been disappointed and frustrated, to the point where we feel very cynical about our government. I ran for governor because I refuse to be part of the first generation of Pennsylvanians forced to tell their children that they need to go somewhere else to succeed. Thank you. I ran for governor because I believe with all my heart that we can rebuild the middle class and get this state back on track. After all, remember who we are. Like you, I have been proud to be many things in my life. But above all, I'm proud to be a Pennsylvanian. Proud I was born here, proud I was raised here, proud that I call this state my home. And that's why I want to restore the belief that Pennsylvania is not just another place, not just another state. Pennsylvania is something bigger. It is something much better. It's an idea. Pennsylvania is an idea that all things are possible. It's that idea that brought William Penn here and allowed him to establish a colony built on a foundation unique in the world at that time of tolerance and inclusion. A holy experiment where religious minorities could trade persecution for prosperity and worship God as they saw fit. It's the idea that on one summer day in Philadelphia, 56 patriots could sign an extraordinary declaration that would create a remarkable new country. It's the idea that we can create new things. Pennsylvania was the state that gave America its first daily newspaper, its first stock exchange, its first commercial oil well, its first computer, and I believe its first art museum. Amazing. We're amazing. We have always pursued the ideas that all things are possible with boldness and with courage. And I refuse to believe that we are any less innovative, any less entrepreneurial, any less committed to building a better future today than our ancestors were yesterday. Now, to create new opportunities, we need to be bold. We need to work together and we need to get started. We have to respect each other's ideas. We have to respect each other's values. We have to believe that none of us alone has all the answers, but that together we can find an approach that works. That's what I have done throughout my career. I've worked with all kinds of people. To turn a business around, I had to get everybody to buy into one mission. I had to get everyone to buy into the powerful idea that in that context, indeed, all things are possible. And I'm going to bring that same mindset to this leadership position that I'm taking on today. So, how do we do it? How do we get Pennsylvania back on track for ordinary Pennsylvanians? How do we help the people of our state make their lives better? As you know, I laid out a plan during the campaign to give Pennsylvania a fresh start. And we will debate those ideas, I know, in the days and months and years to come. But I want you to know that for the next 4 years, my administration will be dedicated to 3 simple things. First, jobs that pay. Second, schools that teach. And third, a government that works. That's what the Wolf administration is going to be about. So let's start. First, getting Pennsylvania back on track means we're going to have to start with jobs that pay. As a business owner, I know that the free market requires a constructive partner in government. That means our government should not do everything. It shouldn't. But it cannot do nothing either. That was a double negative. I know I said that. I meant that. One thing it can do to create more economic opportunity is to make smart, strategic investments in public goods. Investments in education, in health, in transportation infrastructure. Things that set the table for robust private sector growth. Another thing it can do is create the conditions necessary to bring manufacturing jobs back to our state. That's exactly what I did in my job, in my business, and that's what I plan to do here. In Pennsylvania, we're also blessed with an abundance of natural resources: gas, timber, coal, sun, wind, fresh water, open spaces, agricultural land, beautiful scenery, and an opportune location that makes us the Keystone State. To fulfill our potential, we must take full and absolutely responsible advantage of these resources. Now, to the protesters here today, I say, help me develop these opportunities in a way that is clean, safe, and sustainable. Thank you. If we want to be a state where the next generation can envision a bright future, Pennsylvania has to offer a level playing field where all entrepreneurs can be confident their risks will be fairly rewarded. The companies and countries that are thriving in today's global economy are those that are committed to diversity, inclusiveness, and fairness. All of Pennsylvania's families deserve those same opportunities, no matter what their race, sexual orientation, where they started life, or who they are. That's important. My company has a profit-sharing plan because I believe that everybody working for me deserves a chance to share in the benefits of their hard work. But you know what? It also makes my company a lot better, a lot more successful. Being inclusive, being fair, paying good wages, those things aren't just the right things to do, they're also the smart things to do. And acting smartly is how we're going to grow this economy. That's first. Second, getting Pennsylvania back on track also means we need schools that teach and provide all of our young people with the skills they need to find good jobs and compete in the global economy. In this limited government, free market system, our collective future depends on the next generation. Our state will never be as strong as it needs to be if some schools have all the resources they need, while other schools are cutting band and football just to keep the lights on. That's why nothing is more essential than working together to make sure that every child in Pennsylvania, every child has access to a great education, and that all teachers have the resources they need to deliver that great education. From early childhood to college and apprenticeships and training, we must strive to provide our kids an education that is both affordable and second to none. Our schools must be our highest priority. And finally, getting Pennsylvania back on track means creating a government that works, one that is worthy of all of our trust. We have to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars, I get that, but we also have to be stewards of a grand democratic tradition. What we need is a government that is more efficient and less wasteful, that's true, but we also need a government that is responsive to the concerns and needs of the people it serves. By all means, let's get rid of the things that make no sense. Outdated laws, silly regulations. But let's focus on leveling the playing field and making sure all businesses, all Pennsylvanians have a chance to get ahead. Let's work to put the interests of hardworking families ahead of special interests. That's the kind of government I intend to lead. Now, with a large deficit, stagnant wages, a shrinking middle class, there's no question that our challenges are great. But let's remember the last time America went through a great transformation, it was Pennsylvania that led the nation through that great transformation, the Industrial Revolution. We led then, we can lead today. But it's going to take every one of us working together to create a better future. I understand the indifference that some people feel. I understand why fewer than 42% of Pennsylvanians turned out in the most recent election. Our experience has made us cynical, but we cannot allow that cynicism to deflate our democratic spirit or destroy our capacity for effective self-governance. Over the last 3 centuries, every generation has been called upon to write a new chapter to carry the idea of Pennsylvania forward. Now it's our turn. As your governor, I will do everything in my power to make Pennsylvania a place where jobs pay, where schools teach, where government works, and where every Pennsylvanian can believe in the fundamental notion that our democracy works. I hope that elected officials from both parties, from all across this Commonwealth, will join me in this effort. But it's up to all of us, citizens of Pennsylvania, to reclaim our government. I'm asking for your ideas, for your passion. I'm asking for your hard work. Because I know if we come together with a sense of shared purpose, we can build the better future we all deserve as Pennsylvanians. Now let's get started. May God bless us in this noble task, and may God bless the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Thank you very much.